What would you do if a collection worth over $100,000 suddenly disappeared? For one Oregon family, that question became a nightmare. What began as a Lego consignment agreement would eventually grow into lawsuits, investigations, accusations, YouTube exposés, and one of the biggest controversies the Lego collecting community has ever seen.
Dragon in the sky.
Creating energy.
Dragon in the sky when the fire sparks. Step in the game, leave a permanent mark. Crown on my head from the very first start. Queen of the flames, night stalker. They try to rise, but they fall apart. I run the throne, yeah, I run the chart. Game on lock, yeah, I play it smart. Queen of the flames, Queen of the flames, Queen of the flames.
Hello, I'm Nick. At the center of the controversy is collector Brian Mansell. Over many years, Brian and his father built an enormous Lego collection. Reports the Koblitz estimate the collection's value somewhere between $95,000 and $200,000. In 2023, Brian entered a consignment arrangement with the Salem, Oregon Bricks and Minifigs location. This agreement detailed the terms for selling his collection of Lego sets and minifigures. The idea was simple. The store would either sell portions of the collection, while Brian retained ownership. Then the situation became more complicated. Ownership of the store changed. Questions soon emerged regarding who was responsible for the remaining inventory. The two new owners are Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best. The previous owner, Crystal Law Gorman, reached out to Brian Mansell to notify him that the ownership of the Bricks and Minifigs location was changing hands. The store was being transferred to new franchisees. After learning that the store had new owners, Brian Mansell didn't waste any time. He gathered his original consignment paperwork and drove straight to the Bricks and Minifigs store in Kaiser. When he arrived, he spoke with one of the new owners and explained that he had a large Star Wars collection on consignment inside the store. According to Brian's account, the new owner claimed he didn't know anything about the collection or the agreement. That's when Brian pushed back, telling him, "You better get to know what I'm talking about. These are my sets." The new owner reviewed the contract Brian brought, pointed out that the agreement was only with the previous owner, and allowed Brian to look around the sales floor. And Brian says he couldn't find any of sets displayed. Frustrated, he left the store and later called the police to document what was happening. That first visit marked the beginning of the growing conflict between Brian and the new owners. Months passed with no answers or resolution. Frustrated, Brian Mansell watched the private dispute spill into public view. Then the story exploded online. YouTuber Reckless Ben began investigating the case. His videos brought the controversy to a worldwide audience, quickly amassing millions of views. What started as a quiet disagreement over a Lego collection had now become a high-profile public battle.
Views climbing, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million.
As more people became aware of the situation, independent investigators, collectors, and content creators began examining publicly available information. Each new discovery fueled even more debate. Bricks and Minifigs Corporate responded publicly. The company stated that the dispute originated from an unauthorized arrangement involving a former franchise owner. On June 4th, 2026, Bricks and Minifigs made a major announcement. They permanently closed the Kaiser store and parted ways with franchise owners Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. In that same statement, CEO Ammon McNeff publicly offered to sit down with Brian Mansell. He proposed reviewing all sales records together and making the family whole for anything that could not be accounted for. As of today, the legal proceedings continue. The full truth of what happened to the collection may ultimately be decided in court, not on social media. Whether you're a collector protecting a lifetime of memories, or simply someone who values fairness in business, this case serves as a sobering reminder. When large amounts of money and valuable property are involved, clear documentation and written agreements are essential. In the end, this story isn't just about missing Lego. It's about what happens when trust between people breaks down, and how difficult it can be to put the pieces back together. I'm Nick, and you're watching Night Stalker.
Dragon in the sky.
Catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Creating energy.
Dragon in the sky when the fire sparks. Step in the game, leave a permanent mark. Crown on my head from the very first start. Queen of the flames, night stalker. They try to rise, but they fall apart. I run the throne, yeah, I run the chart.